Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm making a video on how to build the life you want. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat things, okay? This is going to be a really sensible way to actually manifest the things that you want in life, okay? So you can build that life that you want. So these things are proven things that actually work, okay? And it's a very simple process, although it can be difficult at times because it can take some time. So what you've got to realize is that when it comes to building the life that you want, it is going to take some time, especially if you are already at square one, you're starting from zero, okay? So yeah, it's going to take some time, okay? So you can't give up, okay? You have to persist. If you really want to build the life that you want and you're serious about that and you're serious about changing your life, you're serious about making a lot of money or whatever it is that your dream is, whatever it is that you're trying to do, it could be that you just want to live the life that you want from your design, you don't want to, you want to have more free time to be able to do things for yourself and things like that. Whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, whatever it is that you want your lifestyle to be, these are the simple things that you can do to actually make that happen, but you have to keep in mind that it may take some time. It may not take a lot of time, or it may take a long time, right? But whatever the circumstances are, you have to commit to it, okay? You have to be persistent. Because if you are not persistent and you're going to give up at the first hurdle, or you're going to give up after, like, I don't know, 6 attempts, or like after a year or after 6 months, right? If you're going to give up, then there's no point, right? Because what you have to realize is that if you want to make these things a reality, then you have to keep on doing it, right? You have to keep on going on the path, and until it happens, basically. That's your mentality. Your mentality should not be, oh yeah, it's just a matter of if it's going to happen for me. It's not, right? It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Okay, that's what that's what your mantra should be. I'm going to do this until it happens, even if it takes 10 years, even if it takes 5 years, even if it takes a day, 5 months, whatever. Okay, so that's the commitment that you have to make to yourself if you want to really build a life that you want. You have to keep on going. And that's the reality. But the good news is that if you have that persistence, that you're just going to keep on going until it happens, you will get there. You will eventually get there. Okay, so that's the good news. Okay, the bad news is it may take some time. The good news is if you don't stop and you never stop and you keep on persisting, you will get there eventually. But you have to be persistent. You have to be strong. Okay, right. So how do you do this then? How can you build the life that you want? So the first thing that's really important is that you have a vision for your life. You have an idea of what it is that you want. Okay, so you need to have a vision and you need to have some goals. You need to know exactly what it is that you want. So the question that I usually ask people is this: where would you like to be in 5 years' time? If you could have it any way you wanted, right? So what would you like your body to look like? What would you like your income to look like? What would you like your career to look like? What kind of lifestyle do you want to be living on the weekends? What kind of relationships do you want to be having with your friends, your family, and your other loved ones? Okay, get a good clear on what this vision for your life that you want it to be like, right? Have a really good, clear, concise vision. Okay, so get a bit of paper out, write all these things down. Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years' time? Okay, so you want to get it quite accurate, right? And concise. So that means if you want to be earning a certain amount, say how much you want to be earning a month or annually, right? Ideally, things like that. What would you like your work life to be like? What would you like your work-life balance to look like? Be very clear on these things, okay? So have a vision for your life, okay? So the next part of that, right, is the difficult bit, right? Which is taking action, okay? So what you want to do then is you want to create a list of practical things that you can do every day, or at least every Monday to Friday, or at least whenever often you can. If you've got a really busy lifestyle, if you've got kids, you've got work commitments, if you're busy, you've got to find time to fit it in, right? Maybe the case that you've got a lot of free time, if you're a student or something like that, and you can work on these things every day. Okay, so what are those practical things that you can do every day? They have to be practical, things that you can actually physically do to make that happen. Okay, so that's the question you need to ask yourself. Like, what can I do every day to make these dreams a reality? Okay, so if you've got a vision for your body, what do you need to do every day in order to make that a reality? It could be something to do with your diet, it could be something to do with your exercise, it could be both. Okay? If you want to be earning a certain amount of money, or you want to create your own business, what can you do every day to make that a reality? Okay? Now, a lot of people already have an idea of what they should be doing to make these things happen. So you probably have some idea of what you should be doing, but for whatever reason, maybe you haven't taken action yet. But ideally, you should have some knowledge already instinctively of knowing what you should do. Now, if you don't, then what you want to do is find a role model. Right? Find someone who has already achieved the level of success that you want in these areas, and then just find out what they did. They might have a biography that can tell you. They may have interviews. They may have other kinds of books that they've written, right? That will show you the way, right? There's a quote that I really love by Tony Robbins. I don't know if he was the first guy that said it, but he said something like, success leaves clues. Okay, so if you want to succeed in an area, all you need to do is just find someone who succeeded at that, figure out what they did, find out what they did, and maybe the case that you can even email them or ask them on Twitter or something like that, because a lot of these people hopefully are still alive and probably have access to their emails and things like that, and they may actually help you, right? And what I've found is actually a lot of successful people are really willing to help other people achieve their dreams. So even if you don't get a response from one person, it's very likely that you'll get a response from someone, okay, at some point. Okay, so role models is a good way to help you achieve your dreams. So there's another quote that I really like by Jim Rohn, okay, and this is really important as you start to get going, okay. So Jim Rohn said success is basically this: a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Now, he said a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Okay? They don't have to be astronomical things. It's just little things that you practice every day, that you try and fit into your day every single day, right? And that will lead you to success. And that's really important as you start off, because it might be the case that you may get overwhelmed if you've put too much on your to-do list. So it's best to start small and do a few simple things, okay, than to do way too much, okay, and get overwhelmed and give up. Because if you haven't been able to consistently do these things in the past, then it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to do them consistently in the future if you don't scale back a little bit to begin with. Because what you want to do is you want to build momentum. So you start off by doing these little simple things first. It could be simple things like working on your website. It could be uploading a short video to YouTube every day. Just short, small, simple things that you can do, right? So think of these small, simple things you can do. If it's to do with exercise, it could be that you just exercise for 15 minutes instead of going like a full hour or something like that. Because one of the examples I use quite often is that people on New Year's, they have these big resolutions that they're going to try and achieve over the year. And a lot of people give up by January 16th because they've put too much on their plate. So they said, oh yeah, I'm going to exercise an hour a day. But they've never been able to consistently do that in the past. So therefore they fail because they run out of steam, basically. So basically what you should start doing is, especially with something like exercise, start off by just doing 15 minutes. Okay, do that for a month, and then after that month is gone, up it to 20 minutes or half an hour. Okay, but the point is you want to start consistently doing these things and get into the habit of doing it. So it's really important as well that you get yourself a good routine, right? A routine that is easy for you to follow. Okay, because if you make it too complex, if you try and stuff too much stuff in it, it's very unlikely that you're going to follow through, at least to begin with. Okay, you might be able to do more as time goes on and you build that momentum, but to begin with, it's better to start small and do what Jim Rohn says, which is, just what success is, which is just doing a few simple disciplines and practicing them every day. Okay? So, what else can help push you through? Because this is a game of persistence. When you're trying to make your dreams a reality, it is a game of persistence. It is a game of time, and you have to keep on doing things over and over again, sometimes in a very tedious way, to get to where you want to go. Okay? So it's a good idea to give yourself a weekly goal, a monthly goal, and a yearly goal as well, right? So you've got your 5-year plan of what you want to achieve, right? But also, You've got these little weekly goals that help you push through, because what you really need is like goals that excite you, that really motivate you. Okay, so it's a good idea to get yourself a little good exciting goal for the week. Now it may not be something like, oh yeah, I'm going to get 1,000 hits, because you may not reach that. Like if you get 1,000 hits on your blog or something like that, or 1,000 hits on your Etsy page, whatever it may be. Okay, get yourself a goal like, okay, I'm going to create 5 products for my Etsy page this week. Right, and I'm going to post them, put them up for sale and things like that. Or it could be that I'm going to make 5 YouTube shorts or 5 TikToks this week for my TikTok page, right? And that's your weekly goal, just something like that, right? It's also a good idea to have one for your exercise regime and things like that as well. It could be like, okay, I'm going to work out for 15 minutes every day, Monday to Friday. Something very simple that you can easily achieve, but something that also motivates you and makes you feel good when you like tick it off your to-do list and things like that. Okay, a monthly goal, right? Could be something a little bit more bigger, like getting 1,000 hits, something like that. But what you got to realize is that if you don't hit these goals, it's okay. All you have to do is just make another goal for the next month. But the idea is that you have a goal, right? So that helps push you, helps motivate you, because the idea of the goal is not exactly to achieve it, but it's to help push you forward and make you work a little bit harder to try and get there. So even if you don't achieve the goal, don't worry about it. Just create a new goal next month or next year, whatever it may be, or next week. If you don't achieve the goal, it's okay. The goal is there to help you do more than you would if you didn't have a goal. Okay, and that's what I personally find about goals. If I've got a goal for the week or if I've got a goal for the day, that helps me push through. Normally, if I just went in on a normal day and not knowing what I was going to do, not sure about what I was going to do. Okay, so if you've got a plan, you're more likely to reach it. And even if you don't, it's okay. All right? So, another important thing as well to know about, like, especially the 5-year plan, like if you don't manage to achieve the things that you want to in the time that you've wanted to, that's still okay, because you're still way further along than the other people that have had no goals, that haven't tried at all. Okay, so even if you do not reach the level that you want to reach, right, when you get to that point, when you get to that end goal, when you get to the end of that 5 years and you haven't managed to do everything, you're still a lot further along than you would have been if you hadn't have done any of it. Okay, so don't lose heart if it gets to the deadline of when you wanted to achieve these things, when you wanted to build your life and you didn't reach it. It's okay. All right, it really is okay, because you're still way further along probably than you would have been if you'd done nothing at all. So that's some really good news there. But you have to persist, you have to keep on going, you have to have that mentality of, it's not a matter of if this is going to happen, it's only a matter of when, it's only a matter of time. And that's what you have to stick through this whole duration if you really are serious about building the life that you want. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.